something that is now canon, I decree,
Mm.
is the line, "Moon Lady, you're on!" I heard that the poor okay, that's our waiter, the stage manager of the show,
Jesus.
yelled at, and I was like, I am going to say that now for everything.
Moon Lady,
you're on.
5, 6, 7, 8.
There's no business like show business.
Mamma mia, here I go again. My
Of the music
As you said, man, 2 in a row with no plot.
No plot whatsoever, except for this person just lives their life.
And, like, while I can't fault anyone for, like, being their most true selves and living their lives to the fullest, it does not always good entertainment make.
No! Because
like other people's extravagance,
except an avalanche. That was the
and
one
the
moment.
Great Depression.
Yeah, but they just kind of sail right through that one.
Yeah, she's like, they'll be fine. And yeah, the very sudden avalanche.
Yeah, out of nowhere.
Jesus Christ. Robert Preston was the best part of this movie. How dare you kill him off?
Well, no. Okay,
Alright,
I'm gonna say I loved Bea Arthur in this movie.
I was gonna say, is Bea Arthur's
Bea Arthur's
second?
her entrance, the first time you see her. We'll talk about it when we get to it, but it's my moment of joy. It's spectacular.
Welcome back to the podcast, dear friends. Welcome back to season 3 of 5, 6, 7, 8, a movie musical podcast. And this episode, we are tackling the famous, like, well-known movie and stage musicale,
Yes,
Mame,
the 1974
which I had never seen before.
movie, because there is another movie from, like, the 50s called Auntie Mame.
Yes. Maybe we should have watched that instead.
Well, that's not a musical, so...
But was it a better film?
Yes.
I confused this, but prior to seeing this film,
Yeah.
I always confused this with Hello Dolly,
Well, it's
because
written
they
by the
both
same guy.
feature... Well, yeah, and they both feature, like, larger-than-life main characters who, like, the world orbits around.
Yes.
Does Hello Dolly have a better plot?
I have actually
I don't know.
never seen Hello Dolly.
I don't
know!
But, like, do you understand why I would always kind of, like...
Yeah,
conflate the two?
because it's larger than life,
Yeah.
like, middle-aged women, so it's not an ingenue.
middle-aged
it's
white
very
women.
much just like a big aunt energy.
Yeah, big, brassy, middle-aged, busty, belty women energy.
Yeah, which, we love. Thank you.
We love a character
There's
actor. We love
not
you'll
a
work in your
single
40s.
ingenue in this movie, and it's honestly, I might even say Patrick is the ingenue. Oh, I got you right while you were drinking.
I took a big sip of tea just now, and that almost came out my nose. Yeah, Patrick, man, do we have any gangsters?
Not
The Great Depression?
the concept of the Great Depression. No, we don't really have any gangsters. We got a lot of
I'd say,
goons.
like, Mr. the Knickerbocker guy, like, maybe was a gangster, but... Oh, no, you know who's our gangster? Is Beau's sister. She tries to...
Oh, she is absolutely... Oh, man, she's the worst.
She's slimy.
I know.
Ooh. And, like, too many goons to count.
Too many goons to count.
So you know who the waiter is? Is the store manager at the department store that she works at.
Yep. That makes sense.
Like, I've taught you how to do this four times. Please
today.
do your job. Or I will have to fire you because I have a department store to run.
Okay. Oh boy.
Okay. It is a musical.
It is a
It's
musical.
got that going for it.
There was a soundtrack.
There was a soundtrack. There are
And so-
songs that...
The reason why I
Move the plot
chose this
forward.
is because this is the final film of Lucille Ball. This is her last film. But I didn't realize that it was her last film because it was so bad it kicked her out of the industry. So that's on me.
Well, I was doing some reading about that, and it's like, she wanted it to be, obviously she wanted it to be a success, but like, I think she was
looking for it to, like,
stuff that
revitalize her career.
Revitalize her career in film, because like, she was such a television icon for so long, but this was going to be the big kickoff to a new era of hers for film.
Surprise.
And then it did so poorly, and she had such a bad time doing it, she was like, never again.
No, I'm done now. It's so funny. I know, it was so bad that they moved the release date so it wouldn't be considered for Oscars. Like,
I wonder at what point they were like, whilst shooting it, they were like, this is a bad film. Did they realize it at the time?
I think they did, because everyone talked about how bad of a time they had making this film. Like, Bea Arthur was like, working with Lucille Ball is a joy, but she was horribly miscast, and, like, it wasn't a good time.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Let's start.
Let's talk about
and
this.
We start this movie musical, how all good movie musicals start, with the reading of a will of someone who has died.
Oh no.
An older gentleman is sitting at a formal desk in a very fancy wooden heavy office.
Yeah.
He's reading out the will of a dead man who has died. That is a sentence I wrote in the year of our Lord 2023.
The
will of a dead man who has died. God.
He is a dead father.
Who has left all his assets to his young son named Patrick.
Patrick's like 8 max.
Oh God, like even younger, I want to say at the start. Like maybe like 6? Sweet, sweet little boy, just looking so lost in this very formal office. And the will is very specific that he is to be looked after by his nanny, but also his aunt, Mame, who is his only living relative. The will dictates that he is to go to conservative schools and have a Catholic upbringing, like very strict Protestant. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Protestant upbringing, like very strict. Very. This is also in Chicago.
Yeah.
And he's under the care of Mame, but the trust of his fortune, the board of trustees of his fortune, if they don't approve of anything that Mame does in his child rearing, they can take him away from her and they will like send him to boarding school.
Yes.
Because there's a great panning shot of family portraits in this office of like very dour, serious looking men and women. And then there's the one photo of Mame. She's in like a boa.
Oh yeah.
With like a martini.
Full.
Clearly the wild card of the family.
Absolutely. Now with Patrick goes his nanny, Agnes Gooch.
At first, I thought this was Aunt Mame.
I
thought this was her, like, disguised, like, pretending to be penitent and, like, very religious.
Like, in a full, like, Miss Doubtfire or whatever, just, like, pretending.
Yes!
Wild.
Yeah, being like, oh, look at how serious and, like, somber I am. Like, I will rear this boy.
Nope.
I was wrong. It's his nanny, Agnes.
I do love it, Agnes. So they take a train to New York City where Mame lives, and Agnes sings the song Saint Bridget, which is not great. Agnes doesn't have a great voice, and I can't tell if it's the actress that's intentionally doing it or if she just didn't have a great voice.
She was better she wasn't great, but she was notably better in her later song, which made me think the direction for this song was like, be pitchy, be bad at singing.
Yeah. It was a bit confusing. Anyway,
one of the lyrics is it's Agnes, sorry.
No, go for it.
One of the lyrics, it's Agnes praying to Saint Bridget, asking for her to deliver them, her and Patrick, from the deprived and the depraved. And then we cut to depraved New York City in the 1920s.
We get a lot of shots that are like roaring 20s and like associated debauchery.
Yeah, just... they literally thanked every single person that ever worked on this film.
Jesus.
Agnes
They're like, thank you for doing this. We realize it was bad.
I want to visually describe Agnes. Agnes is probably like a 30-year-old white woman with a bad bowl.
It looks like a mop is on her head.
Yeah. Thick glasses. Really dour, unshapely clothing.
Yeah.
Like just a wallflower. Spinster, but not old enough to be a spinster.
Well, in this time, apparently spinster is like between 24 and 30, and I'm just like, ooh.
Oh, well, that ship has sailed.
Yep.
Yeah, that's Agnes, because that is very important to contrast the realm that we walk into, which is they enter Mame's house. They are brought in by the butler, who thinks they're there for something else.
Yes.
Unclear. And we enter this massive roaring 20s party of flowing alcohol and dancing and debauchery, and it's in this beautiful multi-story townhouse somewhere in New York City.
Yeah. And the butler, Ito, I think must mistake Agnes for like a cook or something, because he's like, you're late, you were supposed to arrive 2 hours ago, and leads her directly to the kitchen. Agnes goes in and sees two people making out in the kitchen and like panics and leaves. And not leaves the party, but just like tries to go and find
books it out of that room.
Mame.
Yeah.
Patrick, though, who's like this little 6 to 7-year-old boy, just starts walking around this party and eventually sees Mame standing on top of a glass piano, welcoming her guests and thanking them for being here. And it's like, and they start to sing the song "It's Today."
Because someone asks, like, oh, what are we celebrating? Like,
And she's like,
why are you throwing this party? And she's like, because I felt like it, because we're celebrating that it's today.
Woo!
I've made up a new holiday. It's
Yeah, exactly.
today. Mame never needs an excuse to throw a party and have a good time.
She's in a fully red jumpsuit. It's
Oh my
great. And of course,
It's great.
Mame
And it's Lucille Ball.
is played by Lucille Ball. And she is very charming. She is a charming person in a very uncharming movie.
Yeah.
So... Charleston breaks out. There's a big dance. She dances with a bunch of different people, and like all of the people there are like wildly ranging in like age and profession, and so it's obvious that her townhouse is like the place to be.
Yes. I will say, like, no members of high society are there, but it's a lot of artists,
No,
a lot of
there's a judge
bohemians,
there.
as well as, like, that's true. I mean, like, socialites.
Oh, no,
like,
no.
who we will see later in the film, who wouldn't be caught dead at those parties. But no, like, people of society, influential peoples of society, like judges, like
there's like
investment bankers.
That school teacher is there who's like creating this new school, which I
okay,
hated.
but he's a bohemian.
Yeah, so that's a good way to put it. So it's a big bohemian kind of party.
Yes.
So eventually Patrick goes up to her and says, oh, I'm here with to meet my only living relative. And she's like, who's that? And he's like, you. And she suddenly realizes who he is and introduces him to everyone. And, is like, oh, this is my Patrick, and what we're celebrating today is my Patrick's Day.
Yes.
But during this, we also get introduced to Vera, who is played by Bea Arthur, and she is so funny. She's like, oh, this is my best friend in the world, the famous actress Vera Charles.
Vera Charles.
She loves children, and like we get this close up on Vera. She always has like 6 to 8 men, like male chorus members behind her, and she's like charmed and takes
in Bea Arthur's like
deep lowest
voice
possible. Takes a swig of her drink, and as she tilts her head back, falls backwards. All of these men catch her, lift her, and then take her up the stairs while she's still drinking. I lost my goddamn mind. I was like,
what an entrance.
What an entrance. It's my moment of joy, and it was so early on, and it just doesn't get better than that.
Just downhill from there.
Jesus. God, it was such an incredible entrance and exit into the scene. She has like one line in and out. I was worried for a hot second that she was going to be like the Spider-Woman in Whatchamacuzzi, Singing in the Rain, where she only had that one line and then disappeared forever.
No.
But no, she kept coming back, and I was like, oh, thank
Arthur.
God, we can't let Bea Arthur have only one line. Anyway.
Mame and Patrick have a reprise after this of It's Today, where they sing to each other, and Mame seems excited to care for Patrick without really comprehending the responsibility of what it's gonna be to raise a 6-year-old child.
Because she would be an incredible aunt and a horrible mother, if that makes sense.
That's the thing. She's single. She has no children. She is the eccentric of the family.
Yeah, and
she
she's
does
like,
what she wishes.
Do you
and
need a martini?
Live it up in New York City.
Like, have some
Caviar.
Oh, do you want to slide down the banister? Like, whole deal. So, cut to the next morning.
Bad influence.
Yeah.
Oh my God. This scene was my moment of joy. Cut to the next morning. Sweet Patrick wakes up Mame, who is clearly illegally hungover.
So hungover.
And wants to show her his bugle, and eventually forces her to get out of bed because he just doesn't. He's 6. Like, he doesn't understand that she wants to be alone, and she doesn't communicate that well. So he follows her into the bathroom, and she tries to wake herself up, and then Bea Arthur appears from the tub.
I know.
Having slept
she passed
there.
out in the tub.
Oh
God, so
there was
funny.
a great line where Patrick's quite a somber little kid. I mean, he hasn't really talk about culture shock and whirlwind 48 hours, but Mame makes a comment that you're 9 years old and you look like you just came from a funeral. Because he's wearing like a little like charcoal gray suit with shorts. And he goes, I did.
Oh, God.
And I laughed out loud. I was like I shouldn't.
I was like, oh, no. Now, Mame does realize that he needs to go to school. But she's like, I've met this new radical who's starting his own new school. It's co-ed, and basically it's all about the arts and free thinking. And she like takes him to this, so first, she asks him what he's heard about her. And he's like, oh, well, that trustee Babcock said that, like, he wouldn't wish her on, like, a dog, like... And so she gets very upset, and she's like, okay, you know what? You need more life. You need more adventure. Like, life is a buffet, and most people are
clearly
starving.
Patrick has led a very sheltered life.
Yes.
Yes.
So she starts to sing the song, Open a New Window.
Open a New Window. And we get a lovely montage of her just taking Patrick around to see the highs and lows of New York City. They see the Statue of Liberty.
They see the Statue of Liberty. They sit on the crown of the Statue of Liberty. So not only do they go up to the head, which you used to be able to do, that's fine. They have climbed out of that and are sitting along one of the spires of her crown. What the actual fuck, Anna?
I decided to not think on it much further than that.
I was so
She's a bad
alarmed.
influence.
I was so
But she's
alarmed.
fun.
Yeah,
you can't do that. That's not real.
That's illegal.
She takes him to like a peep show,
Yeah,
but also like they
shows and like museums, and then she finally takes him to school, which is
she enrolls him in that school.
Chaos. And she also takes him to a synagogue and like a speakeasy where they learn to dance, and eventually they get arrested.
I like the speakeasy scene.
But they get to the courthouse and she knows the judge from one of their parties, so he just like lets her go. It's wild.
Cut to the next day, Patrick's trustee from the Knickerbocker Foundation comes to check in on Patrick's welfare. It's like a welfare check. And he goes to Mame's house, and the butler, Ito's like, she's not here.
No one's here.
No one's here. And he kicks him out.
Yep.
But we then realize that Mame actually is home, and she watches the trustee get into the car. But her friend Vera is outside and will flirt with anything with a pulse. Yeah. And Vera flirts with him, compliments his car, learns he's looking for Patrick, and she's like, oh, I know where he is. I'll take you right to him. Yeah. And she takes him to Patrick's school, having never been inside. No. And Mame's like, fuck, okay, I gotta follow them. I'm gonna follow the car. And there's a silly bit where she drives the car, and I was like, could women drive in the 20s? I guess we could. Yeah. Mame arrives too late. Vera has already let the trustee up into the school to visit, and the trustee sees the...
No, we don't see what's happening. All we see is the reaction face of this trustee and Vera, and it is delightful.
Yes, because Vera didn't know. Vera thought it was a normal school. Nope. And they open the door, and it's just bohemian chaos. Yeah. And Mame arrives too late, and she's like, oh, you're out of breath. Like, you must be Mr. from the Knickerbocker. Mr. High.
Mr. High.
Cut back to Mame's house, and they are just having it out.
Absolutely.
The trustee and her are screaming at each other, and he says, I never want to let you near Patrick again. He's going to be enrolled in a conservative school out of state, and if I have my way, he will never even see you again.
Yeah. And while this is happening, the phone keeps ringing, and Ito is just like, your accountant wants to talk to you. Turns out, surprise, at this exact moment...
It's Black Tuesday!
It's Black Tuesday! The stock market has just crashed, and Mame is now no money.
Penniless. Penniless.
Penniless. So she's just lost her ward, I don't know, and also lost all of her money. And, at first they're just like, Mame, you're penniless. She was like, what does that matter? They've just taken Patrick from me. So she has, like, in a very short time come to, like, deeply care about this boy.
Mame has a huge heart.
She just she just wants to love people and, like, wants to help people.
That is the through line. Yeah. Like, her intentions are always good. Her execution may be flawed.
Gives
but her
big
intentions
Amelia
are
Bedelia energy of just like wants to do her best but keeps fucking it up somehow.
But we forgive them because their intentions are pure.
Yes, absolutely. So Vera is also there, and she apologizes for taking that trustee to Patrick's school, and she's like, hey, you're penniless. Good thing I never had any savings. If you would like, you can play a small role in my newest show called The Man in the Moon.
It's an operetta.
It's an operetta. It only has one line, but it's a really important line. It's at the crux of the show. Like, I think you would be great. And Vera sort of sits down at the piano and starts to sing the song Man in the Moon. And then as she's singing that, we transition into the play. And during this play, so we see Vera singing the song. The Man in the Moon is actually a woman. And backstage, we see Mame, like, fussing with her headdress and, like, practicing her one line and, like, primping and looking at herself in the mirror, whole deal. And because of that, she misses her cue to come on stage.
I think in this moment, Vera is a waiter, because she's just doing her goddamn job.
She's just doing her goddamn job. So she misses her cue, and then finally she runs on stage and, like, climbs on this moon prop. Her headdress is not properly attached, and she flubs her line.
Her one line. She had one job.
One line.
She flubs her
and
one line.
And she can't remember it, and everyone keeps trying to prompt her, but, like, of course the audience can hear them trying to prompt her, so eventually one guy from the audience yells out the full line. It's very silly. But the audience...
Something that is now canon, I decree, is the line, "Moon Lady, you're on!" I heard that the poor okay, that's our waiter, the stage manager,
Jesus,
yelled at, and I was like, I am going to say that now for everything.
Moon Lady,
you're on.
And of course, like, you know, Vera's pissed, because, you know,
furious.
It's completely changed the tone of the show that they were putting on, and, you know, the audience is laughing at them, and, like, and, like,
not with them, at them.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, she gets fired.
The curtain comes down, Vera is furious, and Mame is immediately fired.
Yeah.
She gets home.
She stays on the stage.
She doesn't get home. Yeah, just... if I had been just fired from a show, the last thing I would want to do is, like, hang out on stage. But Mame sits on stage to an empty house, and surprise, Patrick is there. Little 6-year-old Patrick.
I know.
Hitchhiked to New Haven.
He ran away from school and hitchhiked to see her. What a delight.
And he was like, I thought you were really good. No one liked the play till you came on stage. Sweet.
So sweet. And he reassures Mame that she's not a failure, that he still loves her, and they sing the song My Best Girl.
Yeah.
Now, this little boy is not the best singer, but he does his best, and it's adorable.
He does. And it's like little kids singing, so it's forgivable.
Now, is this little kid actor the same... It can't be, but he looks just like the little kid meme, the oh boy.
No,
it looks
it's not.
Just like him, though. It's the same chubby cheeks.
So anyway, cut back to New York City after they complete this duet of You're My Best Girl.
Yep.
Cut back to New York City. Mame is packing up her townhouse. It seems like she's sold off everything that she can.
Or things are being repossessed.
Yeah.
Because they start to take her glass piano, and she was like, why are you taking this? Like, do you know where I got this? So I think the bank is taking things specifically to pay off some of her debts.
But they don't take the house.
No.
Which is
I think
definitely...
she owns the house.
Oh,
I don't think
okay.
it's... Yeah, I think she, like, flat out owns the property. That's
I don't know
the
how
only thing that makes sense.
Works. Yeah. She should have sold the house.
Jesus.
Cut to Mame being desperate and getting a job at a department store. She works in the shoe section or toy section of this department store. It's definitely supposed to be like a Macy's or a Bloomingdale's.
Yes. And she meets this Southern gentleman
who is shopping for... unclear if it's like a child or a young woman, but Mame suggests a pair of roller skates.
I think it's supposed to be like a woman because
a little filly is what he calls her.
Yeah, he calls her that. Didn't like that, but because he says, I was told not to come back from New York without something sparkly for her.
That could be.
I assumed that meant like jewelry. Yeah.
And instead, Mame's like, how about these roller skates?
How about these roller skates? Look at how shiny they are.
Yeah. But the big deal is they flirt up a storm.
Oh, yeah. She flirts her way through this entire sale.
And It's great. And we learn that this southern gentleman from Georgia's name is Mr. Beauregard Jackson Pickett Burnside.
Now, he decides to purchase these skates. Now, she had tried on the skates for him because he's like, oh, I don't know if these will fit her. And she's like, well, you know, is she anything like my size? And like lifts up her dress just like a little bit to show off her ankles or whatever.
Ankles!
And so she's like, I can try them on just to sort of demonstrate for you. And so she does. And her boss sees her like trying on the merchandise. And he's like, whoa.
Whoa. The true waiter of this
honestly film. And so he goes over and he's just like, are you planning on buying these? What are you doing? And she's like, no, I'm just like showing him demonstrating them. And he's like, no, I'm very interested. I want to buy these. And so she skates over to the counter and starts to like put together the sale, but she doesn't know how to do a cash order. And
so here's what it is. I looked it up.
Okay.
He's like, how do you want to pay? Or he's like, I can give you cash now. And she goes, no. Mame suggests that Mr. Burnside send the gift COD, which means cash on delivery. So he doesn't pay now, he pays when it arrives. And the manager's like, what the fuck are you doing? No.
You're sending it to Georgia. Like, take the cash now.
Yeah, get the cash now. And she says, I don't know how to do that. And the manager says, I've taught you literally 4 times this week already. Get it written up in cash now or you're fired.
Yeah.
And she says, I can't. I can't do that. And he says, you are the dumbest clerk on the floor. And he fires her.
Absolutely. Now, this happens like behind a curtain. So Beauregard kind of hears some of this, but, and he kind of knows that it's because of like his purchase, and so he like starts to go behind the curtain, but in a big like, honestly, I Love Lucy moment, revolving door throughout the other curtain. She like still has the skates on and just like skates away. Now there is one moment, so throughout this she like has to skate her way out of the department store. Now, there's one shot in particular that made me laugh so hard, and it's her going through, like, a line of clothes, but she, like, pushes them aside like it's a curtain with, like, a straight face and just skates right through. It was so funny.
See, what got me is when she grabs onto the mannequin and then accidentally takes
the top half and then just gives it to a man as she skates past. This felt like an I Love Lucy sequence.
Funny.
This felt
and
like
it was
that.
Fantastic.
It was so silly. And she had like a straight face the whole time. Like, beautiful comedy.
I wrote more people should travel by skates indoors.
Exactly.
What an exit. This whole sequence
so funny.
Was so funny.
So she gets home and more of her stuff is being taken away.
Yeah.
But she gets home and Patrick is there. He has come down for a reason. I don't know why.
He's been released for good behavior.
Oh, yeah.
She was like, oh, I thought it was because you got expelled.
No.
I was hoping it was because of that.
Yeah, exactly. So she's quite upset and, she decides that a way to sort of lift everyone's spirits is...
Yeah, because Agnes and Ito are also there.
And she hasn't been able to pay them. And she tells them, she's like, listen, you shouldn't keep staying here.
Oh, because she tells them she got fired.
And she's like, you shouldn't keep staying here. I can't pay you and you can't keep working essentially for free. And they're like, we would never leave you. Like, we're staying with you. And to be honest, part of it is just like, oh yeah, a free, nice house to stay in during the Depression. Yeah, I'm not getting paid, but I'm also not homeless. So like, that's
the thing. They also say like, there are no jobs available right now. If I left, I couldn't get another job elsewhere.
I still wouldn't get paid if I left. Yeah. So at least I'm like housed and I'm not getting paid as opposed to not being paid. And they're like, they're eating like, cream of wheat or whatever, but at least they're eating. So anyway, Mame is very happy that they're staying, but she decides that they need
like overwhelmed with gratitude.
Yeah, exactly. They need a lift, they need a boost, and she says to Ito,
She quote, I refuse to let the Depression depress us.
So ridiculous. So she says, Ito, go and get all of the Christmas decorations. Now it's like late November, so it's not Christmas time
Christmas
yet.
is a month away.
But also, I'm like, what do you mean Christmas starts after October 31st? Like, so she sends Ito, and he gets all of the Christmas decorations.
Christmas
and
decorations,
we start the song,
like the
We Need a Little
tinsel.
Christmas.
So 2 things. Well, 1 thing. I love Christmas songs.
Yes.
I love this song. I never knew this was from this film
Me
originally.
neither.
And I looked it up. I was like, oh, is this like a popular Christmas song that they put in? No, this song was written for this film.
Yeah, absolutely.
What?
Yeah.
Like, name another Christmas song that is common that originated from a musical feature film that's not about Christmas.
Right. Oh, were
I'm
you waiting?
The answer is you can't.
You can't.
Because we need a little Christmas
Right
this very minute.
Um,
It's a good Christmas song.
It
All right,
is.
I'm done.
But Agnes is like dressed in a dark green dress, and they don't have a Christmas tree, so they use Agnes as their Christmas tree, and they dress her up in like baubles and like tinsel and all of that.
Do you like tinsel? Do you decorate?
No.
Did your family decorate?
No.
Dear listeners, if you could see the disgusted look on Grace's face
Tinsel's
right now.
so bad for the environment.
I literally wrote the bank didn't even want the tinsel.
I never really understood tinsel, I'm gonna be completely honest. Just like bits of shiny plastic. I'm okay, thank you.
It's not my aesthetic.
Yeah, no.
Anyway.
But the song ends and Mame reveals that she's hidden a couple of gifts from the bank repossessors.
She hid them from the bank.
Yeah, and so she gives out the Christmas gifts early. She gives Patrick his first set of long pants, which means that he's grown up. And she gives, I don't know what Ito got, but I know
he's
that
no longer a boy.
he's no longer a boy. I don't know what Ito got, but I know that Agnes gets like expensive perfume. And so she's like, you know, I bought these before everything crashed, so I just want.
Oh, she says I bought these 3 jobs ago.
Oh, right.
She got fired from so many jobs.
And so then Ito and Agnes reveal that they have also gotten her a gift. They have pooled their savings and they've paid the food bill out through September. So they will have the butcher bill or whatever.
Yes. Question. Does that mean it's paid through September of the next year, or they paid the backlog of what they
Only
owed?
till September.
Only till September, because that's
so
all
they
can
still
afford.
owe another month.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What month was Black Tuesday?
That is a good question. Thank you.
Black Tuesday, because that'll help us date how far we are into the Depression.
Fair.
Oh, it was October.
Oh.
So she's gone through 3 jobs and they're like a month into the Depression.
Great.
God, that tells you everything you need to know about this character.
Absolutely.
It makes me think of that TikTok audio.
So then
that's
they
like,
must have
what's your
paid it
dream
through
job?
the year.
Yeah.
So they will
It
have
makes me
food for the next year.
Mame's whole character makes me think of that TikTok audio that's like, what's your dream job? She goes, I do not have a dream job. I do not dream of labor.
Exactly. Big energy. So true.
Oh, God.
So
anyway, ding dong, surprise guest at the door.
Yeah, Canuck. Who should appear but Mr. Beauregard Burnside? He appears at the front door and wants to apologize because he's like, I feel kind of responsible for getting you fired. I would love to take you to dinner as an apology. And she like looks upstairs and like Patrick, Ito, and Agnes are all like looking down the stairs too. And he's like, actually, let's take all of you. Let's all go to dinner. Which is a very kind...
Which is such a nice gesture.
Such a nice gesture for someone that you've literally never met. And yeah, you were flirting with this woman and that's what you're into, but like you recognize that like this is her family. So
we
we see the minute they fall in love.
Yes, because I think it's when she introduces him and she
remembers
gets his full
his
name
full
right
name.
on the first try, and the look that he gives her. Pure love.
Like, snap. Talk about, like, love at first sight. The minute that she says his full name the entire way through, doesn't fuck it up, amazing.
It was at this moment that I looked it up and learned this was Robert Preston. I did not clock that in the first scene.
Yeah.
And Agnes says to Mame when they're like getting their coats on, because Mr. Beauregard is waiting out, like telling the cab to wait. Agnes, while putting her coat on, says to Mame, like, marry him the minute he asks.
I know. And like, Ito's just like, I never believed in Santa Claus before. Mame replies, I never expected Santa to look so much like Rhett Butler.
Rhett Butler! Because he does. He's got that big mustache.
Yeah, he does.
There was also a funny line earlier when Ito and Agnes are giving Mame, telling Mame about the present that they've paid the butcher bill through next September. They said, well, we had some savings saved away for a rainy day, but we didn't know it would get this way.
I know.
Girl, same.
I know. Oh, so funny. So,
also, they get in the cab, they leave. They left their fireplace fully lit.
Honestly,
Ito should have known better.
Ito should have known better, but I think he was overwhelmed by the idea of a full meal for the first time in a month.
Yes, that's honestly very fair. It's only been a month. I'm sorry. I'm still thinking about how, I'm sorry. It's probably been like...
My question is, when did, what year was did the Depression start?
29.
Okay, so then, because they mentioned Rhett Butler, and I was like, when did Gone with the Wind come out? 1929.
Oh, so...
Or was it 39?
But like, what?
Hold on, wait.
Gone with the... 39!
No, 39!
It was 39! Naughty
Now, it is based off of a book, so maybe she's talking about the book, but...
No, but the book came out in 36! This still doesn't make any sense! This is not the hill I die on.
Oh no.
However.
The sweaters, they're so shaky.
They're so shaky today.
Okay.
This is... Cut to Georgia.
An undetermined Peckerwood, Georgia.
Number of months later.
Yeah, at like a plantation. Oh, good, because nothing bad ever happens on a plantation in Peckerwood, Georgia. So we see
Mame and Beauregard are very much in love.
Yeah.
And has he asked her to marry him?
Yes. So I think that at this point they are
married,
engaged or married, somewhere in that vibe. But they're driving up, and a woman on a horse comes up, and I think this is Beau's sister. Yeah.
This is Beau's sister, Sally Cato.
Yeah, and so she comes up and she was like, oh, I am just so delighted that y'all are here. I'm so excited for you to meet the family. And it's big bless your heart energy.
I want to be the first person to say hello. She's definitely sizing Mame up.
Oh, 100%.
She's close with her brother and very protective of him.
Yes. And so we get to the house. And
we also briefly see, before they arrive at the house, we briefly see Beauregard's mother commenting about how she can't believe that Beau fell in love with a Yankee.
Yes. And so we're at this like huge family
God, they have
event.
money. Like
their
money's in molasses.
Moneyed. And they're having this huge family like outdoor tea thing.
Picnic tea,
mint julep thing. And
what I would give for a mint julep.
And one of the lines that his mother says is just, why, like, there are so many gorgeous Georgia peaches down here, why would he go for a northern pear? And I was like, wow.
Man, southern insults, like, they're said with a smile on their
bless
face,
your heart.
but are the nastiest. Your elevator don't go all the way to the top, now do it. Or my personal favorite, don't piss on my back and tell me it's raining.
Mm-hmm.
I got to use that this week and it was so nice.
Amazing. And so no one's really happy and they're all waiting for Mame to arrive. And so she finally comes down and it's big. This whole scene has big Eliza Doolittle vibes of like the horse race.
Yes.
Yes. Including
There's even horses later.
There's even horses. Yes. Yeah. So, she comes down and like everyone is silent.
Sorry, I'm just thinking of when we went to go see it and those men stared.
Direct eye contact.
Slight anecdote. Grace and I went to go see My Fair Lady at Lincoln Center and we had very good seats. And for the Ascot race song,
and they had a rotating
the stage was revolving. And so the actors were very statuesque as the stage revolved. And like the whole song is like so held back, and these two ensemble members just made direct eye contact with Grace and I as we watched it, and
as they like rotated away, their head just like stayed looking at us
like owls.
We lost our minds. So ridiculous.
Anyway, and I just God, that was such a good production.
It was such a good production. Anyway, so
the
sister comes up and it's
Mame comes out of the house in this ridiculous purple outfit.
Oh, God.
And gets to meet Mom. No one seems super happy to meet her. They're very snobby. Yes, all conversation comes to a grinding halt.
Yeah.
And that's when Sally Cato, Beau's sister, comes up to Mame.
Yep. And she's just like, what's your, like, if Beau has fallen in love with you, then you must be, like, all about horses. I can never even imagine him being with anyone who wasn't born on a horse. And Mame is just like, yep, super horse girl. That's me.
That's me.
And she's like, oh, well,
Finger
if that's the
guns.
case, like, we should go out for a ride. And she's like, oh, well, I didn't bring anything to ride. And she's like, I have so many things for you to wear. Do you ride astride? And she's like, no, side saddle. She's like, don't worry, we have saddles for that too. Like, his sister is just like setting her up for failure at every single level. She's like, oh, guys, we're gonna do a hunt.
A hunt.
And so,
a hunt.
And so she sets up this fox hunt.
Tomorrow morning.
She's like, everyone in town is going to have their eyes right on you. And it's just like, it's so like knife in the back.
Setting her up for failure.
Absolutely. So cut to the next day.
Hunt.
The hunt.
There's, Beau comes up and Sally Cato, his sister's like, Mame's gonna join us on the hunt tomorrow, and Beau's like, you'll be great.
Yeah, well, Beau's like, if Mame
Beau
says she can do it, she can do it. She can do anything she says she can. And I was just like, I love that.
Supportive. Cut to the hunt the next day.
They give her the most aggressive,
the meanest horse.
Like the one that they're like, didn't that horse go crazy?
Yeah, and they're like, yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did. So,
and Mame gets on the horse.
Sits side
Not only
saddle.
that, there is a comment. Side saddle's very hard if you're not just like trotting along.
Yeah.
Like, side saddle's notably hard.
Yeah.
And the bugle goes off and Mame is left in the dust as all the other riders gallop off.
Yeah, and she's trying to get the horse to go, but obviously she's never been on a horse before. And
never
she's
been on a
side
horse.
saddle, and it's like a horse that's crazy. And so eventually the horse takes off like a rocket and like starts jumping all of these fences. She manages to stay on this horse, but like only through like the grace of God. And so she overtakes all of the other riders. She overtakes all of the dogs. She overtakes the fox. And then, like, somehow the horse turns around and she runs back the other direction.
It's because the horse gets spooked by a mouse.
I know, the horse is spooked by a mouse. And so, but then he, like, gets to a fence and the horse decides, not gonna jump this time. He just, like, stops. And Mame falls off of the horse. And what should be there but the fox, who is apparently very nice and just wants some cuddles.
Honestly, same.
Same.
And so the rest of the hunting group finally catches up to Mame and sees this docile fox snuggling up in her arms, and they are all amazed.
Awestruck.
Mother Burnside, is like stars in her eyes for Mame, and only the sister's just like,
yeah. Then we get the weirdly ominous start to this song where it feels very cultish. Oh my God. It feels like a cult.
Okay. It's after the hunt.
Yeah.
They're having like a reception cocktail hour afterwards. The crowd is toasting to Mame.
Yeah.
And the mom is still trying to like the sister is still trying to like poison the mom against
But everyone
Mame,
else is just like, anyone who can ride like that is part of us. Like,
yes. And then we get the start of the song, the titular song, Mame. And as Grace said, it's very ominous because it starts off very whispery.
And it feels like that horse racing song where like everyone is dead still and the only thing that's moving is their mouth and they're just like, how amazing this is, everything is fat. And you're just like, what is happening? But like then they're doing this and it's not them like looking at a horse race. All of them are staring at Mame. And it's just like, you are great, it's Mame. And it's like, oh my God, this is so weird.
I didn't like it. I did write, as soon as Robert Preston, because he kicks off the song, starts singing, I went, God, it's the music man.
Fair.
Because that's what I know Robert Preston
I know.
from. It's Harold Hill.
I know.
What are you doing in Georgia, Harold Hill?
I know. But like everyone is just like, you're the best thing that's ever happened to the South. And I was like, this feels like an overreaction to this experience.
You may be from Manhattan, but Georgia never had a sweeter peach. I will say, this song is a nice break from Lucille Ball's singing that we've had up until now.
Yes.
This was like a big group number, and we haven't had one of those since the opening number.
Dance.
And also, Robert Preston has a beautiful voice.
Very much.
Yes,
so.
we got. This is a long number.
This is a
and there's a lot
number. Is this the end of Act 1? Must be.
No.
It's
almost. It's almost the end of Act 1. In my mind, this is the end of Act 1.
Yeah.
No, sorry. In my mind, the end of Act 1 is coming up. I don't know what it is in the show.
One
I also don't know how they would do this in the show. How are they doing a horse race in a show, Grace?
I don't know, Anna. Hold on.
Anytime there's like major action sequences in movies, like, I don't know, the car race in Greece, like, how do they do it?
How did you do this? I just want to know.
There's so many numbers, and the dancing, it's not a lot of dancing. It's like going down onto one knee and bowing and like jetés. But at the end, they get to their final pose, and Mame is in the center with Beau, and all the dancers are like bowing to her. And there is a one moment where we cut to Patrick, who's there. Yeah. Patrick has been there the whole time, looking kind of sad and despondent that like he seems like he's been forgotten as Mame gets all the attention. But then she gets down onto her knees and like holds her arms out to him, and he goes runs and he leaps into her arms.
And then a big hug. And so then the song ends.
You know what? I retract my statement because I would believe this would be the end of Act 1. You know why? The only reason why I was just like, I thought it would end with like Beau's death. Spoiler alert. But
remember that avalanche that we mentioned at the beginning?
Oh, you know why? It's because coming up is the moment where I was like, I can be done with this film.
Yes.
So we cut back to New York, specifically New York Harbor. We're on a cruise liner.
Yeah.
Undetermined amount of time later, pretty soon, Mame and Beau are headed on an extended honeymoon, and Beau is so excited to show her the world.
He's just spending his money, and they're just traveling, and honestly, goals.
He wants to spend his money on her. And she brought 18 steamer trunks, and I'm glad she did because she has so many costume changes in this one song along. They're leaving. Patrick's back at school, so they can. And Robert Preston, Beau, sings the song "Loving You," and his voice is like butter, and he has such good acting choices during this. And it's just a quick montage of them traveling and seeing the world. At one point, they have a full ballroom to themselves, and they're waltzing. And the song ends with them like running happily through a garden. Yeah, and that's when I texted Grace. I was like, "There's an hour left of this movie. I could be done.
I'm done now.
Like happily ever after.
Thank you.
They fell in love. They are gonna be happy and live a happy lives the rest of. I can be done. Yep, I can be done.
We also see like then after
maybe
Loving
it's because
You...
I'm salty because my last book didn't have a happy ending and I'm still traumatized from it.
So sorry. We then also see Patrick sort of growing up. And him at school.
Through the song The Letter.
He's like a B+ average student. He's like flirting with a bunch of girls.
So we jump cut. We see this honeymoon went on for like 8 years.
Yeah.
We see Patrick writing letters to Mame, like with updates on his schooling, like he got good grades in this.
Yeah.
Then halfway through the song, we jump cut. He's now a high school senior. Yeah. And he's clearly loves Mame, misses Mame, but like knows she's having an amazing time. Yeah. Like, oh, Tahiti sounds like the best place you've traveled. Like clearly they're communicating back and forth, and he just sends letters to wherever they are in the world. Yeah. But we learn that Mame and Beau are now in the Swiss Alps. Yes. Then we get an avalanche. Yeah. And surprise, Beau just dies. Just like that. We cut then to Mame back in New York City in funereal clothing. Yeah. Home. Unclear of whose house this was. Just because we never saw like the It looks different though.
Well, yeah, she's redecorated because she lost all of her shit in the Depression, so she had to rebuy.
But I wasn't sure if like they bought a house together. Like
nah,
clearly
this
they
is
had
her same
the funds.
property.
This is still her house.
Yeah.
All right.
Patrick is there. They sort of reunite, and he, is like, I want you to call me if you ever need me. In fact, why don't you come to lunch with me? Like, I have a lunch date, but I would love for you to join us and to meet her. And Mame is like, another time, I'm okay.
I am in mourning.
Yeah, and he leaves and gets into a car with a girl, and they start making out aggressively. And Mame sees this through the window, and they have this weird, like, meeting through a window where he's just like, Gloria, like, and she's like, nice to meet you, like, mouthing all of this. Weird. It's very bizarre. Anyway, this is his girlfriend, Gloria Upson, which we'll see more of her in a bit.
Oh, we will. Cut
her accent. We'll talk about it.
I can't wait to talk about it.
Okay.
So, after Gloria and Patrick leave, as I said, Mame is in funereal, like, blacks. She walks by a mirror and she says to herself the same thing she says to Patrick when he first comes in, being like, look at you, like, you look like you've been to it. You look like you're going to a funeral.
Yeah.
And so she changes into an all-white outfit for her lunch date with Vera.
Yeah.
Who, like, their relationship is strained because the man-in-the-moon incident, like, 10 years ago. But they go to lunch and Vera, respectfully, is like in all black.
Yes.
Being respectful of Mame's mourning, and Mame shows up and just like all white. Like, where's the party?
Yeah, exactly. So they have drinks, and then we get the song Bosom Buddies, where they just shit all over each other because they know every tiny thing about each other, and there's still that angst from...
But it's not mean.
It kind of is a little bit. Like, it feels like this is like...
The intention is not mean. I'm saying, like, they are such good friends that they can be as scathing with each other as they can, but they will always be friends because they will always be honest with each other.
Yes, yes.
Like, they can endure whatever, like...
Well, but what it feels like is, like, they're still getting over their hurt feelings with each other, and so they're pushing buttons that they know the other one has. So that bit is intentional, but it isn't, like, cruel. It's just...
And they do start off the song with an apology.
Yes. Yeah.
They, like, both apologize to each other.
Yeah.
But by the end of the song, they're bosom buddies.
They're
again.
great, and I love the two other
bosom buddies.
I love the other two women that are at a close table, and they like hear all of this shit that they're saying to each other, and they keep like looking over their shoulder. And then they go back to
Mame's house to keep
drinking, you know, as you do. And they talk about how they've like all of the men that they've dated and how they sometimes dated the same guy at different times. And Agnes,
I loved this scene because of the one-liners.
Oh, the one-liners were so good, where it's just like, oh, like Carlo, the Argentinian. And she was like, I never dated Carlo. And she's like, no, you saw me. Just like, I never dated Carlo. I married Carlo, but I never dated Carlo. And Agnes
and you're
is
right,
there.
During this, we hear a little giggle from behind them, and Agnes has overheard, and she comments that she's just like, hearing you two talk about this, like, gives me goosebumps, because, like, I've never been on a date. Yeah. And they're like, well, what do you mean? She was like, no, I've just never been on a date with a man. And during this, like, they're both drinking scotch, and she's got, like, a Dr. Pepper in a bottle. And we get a makeover idea.
And so they're just like, okay, Agnes, like, take off your glasses. And they're like, take off all of your clothes, Agnes. You have a body. You're not showing it. And at one point, Agnes is like, I don't have a very clear picture of what is going on.
Because they take her glasses and she goes, well, I can't see out of my right eye. And Vera says, who can?
She's like, look out of your left.
I also loved that, Agnes, you're coming out. Coming out to society, and she looks down like, where? I know. Like, where are my clothes? But then they put her into a bath.
Oh my god, she's so small in this giant tub.
Tiny bath. And they give her liquor, and she's like, I'm not the same when I've had liquor. Yeah. But they are essentially giving Agnes permission to go out and, like, take a sabbatical, essentially. Pretty much. And, like, live her life. Patrick doesn't need her anymore. No. She was Patrick's nanny, but Patrick is a grown-ass man, now.
And so they leave her to, like, get dressed, and they come downstairs, and they're like, we're the greatest team since Romulus and Remus. And I'm like, what? Insane. But they do a reprise of Bosom Buddies.
Yes. And just then Agnes comes downstairs in this, like, show-stopping red evening dress.
Oh, yeah.
And they send her off in a cab to live. And then immediately cut to 6 months later, Agnes pulling up in a cab,
heavily pregnant. And so
like, she got pregnant that day.
Exactly. And so, but during this, Mame is meeting Gloria for the first time. So Gloria is over. So they've been dating for like 6 months. And Gloria is talking, and God, she's the worst. I just see here, actually, my computer accidentally autocorrected Gloria to gorilla at one point, so that's fun.
Gloria has a obnoxious socialite accent.
That's not quite British?
It's not, but it's very...
Don't you just know, darling, like, it's just so difficult to, like, just fully speak with your mouth. You have to, like, purse your lips.
And it's like your mouth with your face is long.
Yeah.
Like, almost like your lips are covering your front teeth. They're just like, oh, I've been dying to see this exhibit. And, you know, this, my psychology professor has been talking all about this. The links. I can't, because I'm not listening to it right now, I can't recreate it as well. But it's so weird. Wild. And her parents don't have
that accent. So what is going on? Anyway, so she's the worst. And
she's the worst. She sucks.
Yeah, and Agnes returns home. Obviously, she's very pregnant, and Ito comes in being like, Agnes is here. I, like, put her into the kitchen because, like, we have company.
So Patrick is, the people sitting in the formal dining room are Mame, Gloria, and Patrick. Yeah. And Mame learns from Ito that Agnes has come home, but she's hiding in the kitchen because she's ashamed. And Mame's like, what? Why? Yeah. So she goes into the kitchen and sees Agnes is, like, extremely pregnant. She goes like,
oh,
okay. This is this.
Yep.
And Agnes decides to stay in the kitchen. Back into the main dining hall, before Agnes comes in, Gloria's parents say that they have said that they want to meet Mame. So Mame's like, oh, we'll have them over for dinner this week. Then Mame goes into the kitchen, sees Agnes, and like hugs her. And obviously Agnes is a bit upset. Yeah. Like, I mean, so this is at this point the 30s, I'm assuming, like late 30s. Obviously, like, an unmarried pregnant woman is something that society stigmatized.
Exactly. So then Mame goes back out, and she was like, well, maybe you guys should come over on next Friday night. And during this, Patrick goes to see Agnes, because obviously that was his nanny. He grew up with her, and sees that she's pregnant and is kind of horrified, and comes out and is just like, maybe you should come up to Connecticut. That would be easier for me. Like, that he's ashamed of Agnes and the situation that she's in.
Is it that he's ashamed of Agnes, or is that he knows Gloria's parents will not approve?
Honestly, I think it's kind of both, because he's been really influenced by Gloria and Gloria's family. Yeah. He hasn't been around Mame in a while, and so I think he's been sort of, like, drawn
influenced
into
by the
societal bullshit.
Upper crust.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so Mame agrees to go up to Connecticut.
They're like, we'll go up to Connecticut instead. Yeah. Gloria and Patrick leave. Mame goes into the kitchen and just sits down with Agnes, and she goes like, well,
what happened?
But not judgmental. No. She's just like, I want to hear all about, like, your 6-month sabbatical. Yeah. Like, what did you do? And we get the song. So Agnes's last name is Gooch. Yes. Gooch. And so the song is Gooch's song. Yeah. And it is about everything Agnes did. Like, she lived, capital L-I-V-E. Mm-hmm. At one moment she says, like, I got really drunk and had sex with the man, and now that's why I'm in this condition. Yep. Honestly, I'm trying to think of, like, what lyrics stood out to me. She's not bemoaning her experience. She's like, I did all this. Like life opened a window. And opened other things as well. Yes. But she does say to Mame at one point, she's like, I'm not complaining, but you left something out about the rest of the world. Like, Agnes, here's the thing, like, Agnes is a grown person. Yeah. But definitely comes from a very sheltered upbringing. Yes. Like, we first met her singing St. Bridget, so I don't think she knew what she was getting herself into. No, and she took this 6 months I don't think sabbatical. That Mame knew how little she knew either. And and the song because ends with, what do I do? Like, she's asking Mame. Because again, what resources and options were there for unwed single mothers in the 30s? Exactly. Even in a bohemian city like New York. Yeah. So that song ends, and obviously,
Mame hugs her and like she's going to be staying with Mame. So cut to Connecticut. Mame has gone up to visit the Upsons, and they are so waspy.
Oh, they're just such Connecticut wasps.
Yeah.
Mame gets to their house. It's a beautiful country house. They have a pool.
Yeah.
And the parents are very, very friendly to Mame. They come up, they're like, oh, we've been dying to meet you.
They call her Mame, which I hated.
The whole time. I hate it. They introduced
as someone who doesn't
Mame.
like being called Gracie, anytime that someone like takes that and is just like, oh, I'm gonna call you Gracie, and I'm like, that's not my name. And so, but Mame is just like, cool.
Did I ask
like,
you to?
Didn't like, that's not my name.
Not rocking the boat. But Gloria's parents introduce Mame to their other kids, like, oh, this is our son and his wife and our daughter and her husband, and everyone congratulates Mame. They're like, oh, you must be thrilled, and Mame's like, sure,
what?
Why? And it turns out Patrick and Gloria got engaged. Isn't it scrumptious?
Oh.
You know what it is? It's a little bit like Maya Rudolph or like Kristen Wiig, like,
yeah,
or in like
Don't Make Me Sing.
Don't Make Me Sing. It's a little bit of that, of just like pretend comedic or like
affected like
upper crust. Yeah.
So
Don't Make Me Sing. Isn't this ring scrumptious?
Oh, but don't touch it. I'm covered in oil.
Yes, surprise. Patrick and Gloria are engaged, and Patrick did not tell Mame that this was going to happen. So she walks right into it.
Exactly. Now, they go into their rumpus room, and they talk.
Just the parents.
The parents,
Gloria's
and
parents
Mame.
and Mame.
And the parents talk to Mame about how, like, hey, we want to get the kids a gift for their engagement. There is this property right next door. We want to buy it for them just to make sure that, we don't want the wrong sorts.
The wrong sort of people.
This property.
And like being part of their neighborhood.
And being part of the neighborhood. And it's like, that way the kids will be near us and we'll protect the neighborhood at the same time. And Mame is like, what do you mean the wrong sorts? And they're like, you know. And she's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now, she
there's a
doesn't say
couple
anything,
moments like that.
but there's quite a few moments where it's very obvious that these people are bigots.
Yeah. Bigots,
and
racist,
so,
like,
whole deal.
Stuck up.
Then they spend the afternoon watching videos of their kids as babies. God, it's the worst. Mame is clawing her face off.
I can't think of anything worse, but she's being polite. She's being on
very
her
polite.
Best behavior.
And like eventually the videos stop and she's like, I think I gotta go home.
Yeah.
So she gets up to leave. They go outside and Patrick walks her to her car.
Patrick walks her to the car.
And she is just like, okay, well, did I pass your test? Like,
yeah, he says how much he appreciated that she was here, and she was like, did I make a good impression for you?
Yeah. And, he was like, oh, well, at the very least, I think that the parents really loved you. And she's like, great. And, like, really hates these people.
Yeah, and hates that she had to be someone that she's not, or rather
that she's not.
To make someone else comfortable. And he says,
exactly.
like, I know you and I know you clearly don't like them. You're as subtle as a pile driver.
And it's just like, and it's like, I just, like, they're gonna come to have dinner with you, like, in New York, just like, and I know how you are with all of your crazy friends, and, like, kind of hints that he's kind of ashamed at her behavior, and she insults him
because he's been
right
so
back.
Influenced by how upper crust, like, Gloria and her peers and her family are. Mae's way of life, he knows won't fly, so he is following the flock instead of supporting someone who literally cared for him his entire life.
Right, exactly. Now, she kind of insults him right back and says, oh, you've turned into a beastly boy. And he turns around and goes back to the Upsons, and so Mame is just kind of heartbroken. And
he says he wants nothing to do with her and asks her to forget him. And she's heartbroken and wonders, like, where did that sweet little boy go? And
so
as
she has the song, If He Walked Into My Life.
Yeah, as she drives back to New York City. Now, this is a voiceover song as she drives back into the city, which seemed like an odd choice.
Yeah. Anyway, but it's just her internal monologue.
Driving,
like,
right?
This could have been sung out, like, but I'll talk about the troubles that they had with Lucille Ball singing.
Yeah.
And so, but like she gets back to her empty house and like sees that, you know, there's no one there, and she like has all of these like images of when he was a young boy, and you know, and memories, and like turns around and hopes to see him there, but he's not. So yeah, the song ends. It's a bit sad.
Yeah. Cut to another week or so later, Mame is hosting the Upsons at her house. Mame
She has a new maid at this point as well.
She does. She has a new maid. Mame promises Patrick that she'll behave, and Patrick meets Mame's new maid, Pegan, who is a lovely Irish, red-haired, pretty maid.
Like, just very cute and chatty and easy to get along with.
Yeah.
And so they're dressed up for the Upsons to come in, and
they're gonna make a good impression.
Now Agnes is also there.
Yes.
And Patrick sees her and is just like, go to your room and stay there. And Mame is like, you know, oh, don't forget to take your calcium pills. So it's obvious that Mame is sort of caring for Agnes through the end stages of her pregnancy.
But also, like, doesn't take Agnes's side, and it's just like, Agnes, go to your, like, doesn't say like Agnes doesn't have to go to her room. Like, allows.
I think
Patrick,
because she knows what she has planned, she allows Patrick to do this. So
okay,
Patrick sends her upstairs. And then the Upsons arrive, and
Mame welcomes them in, they compliment her house, and we very quickly learn that the Upsons are pissed because someone bought that property next door to theirs that they had wanted to buy for the kids, bought it out from underneath them. Yeah.
And they insult the lawyer, and like they, you know, slurs and all of that, and it's not great. Enter Vera with a literal men's chorus behind her.
The 6
God damn it.
a cappella choir.
Bless.
Oh my god.
And Vera
and the
is
mom
delightfully
recognizes
mean.
Vera.
Mom recognizes Vera. She's like, oh, isn't that famous actress? And Gloria goes
Vera
up and is like, I loved you in this show. And she was like, that wasn't me.
And Vera then proposes a toast. And at one point, like, the maid had Pegan, the maid had accidentally like knocked into Vera and like knocked something on the floor, and Patrick's helping her clean it up. And Vera maybe intentionally implies that, oh, you make a lovely couple, Patrick and Pegan, and they're like, oh, we're not.
No, we're not.
And Patrick's like, this is Gloria, my fiance. And Vera's like,
she's like, oh,
pity.
Well, we'll have a toast anyway.
Yeah.
And then Agnes comes downstairs, and
take it away.
I was supposed to stay in my room, but you also told me to take my pills. They're in the kitchen. And so Mrs. Upson like takes her and sits her down, and is just like, oh, tell me, you know, it's just like, how far along are you? What's your name? She's like, Gooch. And she's like, well, what does Mr. Gooch do? And she's like, oh, my dad died a couple years ago. She's like, no, your husband. And she's like, oh, I'm not married. And that just sort of like stops the room in their tracks.
Yeah. The only reason Gloria's mom is being nice to Agnes is because she thinks, like, she's, like, being polite to everyone she's been invited to this house, and so she's being polite to everyone, but she also assumes that Agnes is married.
Yes. Suddenly, we
Just
hear
then,
a chorus of women.
A bus pulls up outside of women singing a reprise of Open a New Window. They come out of the bus, and it is just a flood of single, pregnant, unwed mothers, as they
basically
would refer to them as. They all come upstairs to the sitting room where everyone is.
And Mame is just like, oh, you know, the society today doesn't like just throws these women out into the street when they need help the most. And so I'm going to be creating a home for single mothers. And Vera's like, here at your house? She was like, oh, no, at this property that I bought in Connecticut just now. And I'm going to be creating the Beauregard Burnside Memorial Home for single mothers right next door to the Upsons. And they are furious.
But like in the most Connecticut way, the mom's like, I would like to leave now, to her husband. And they storm out.
And the dad is just like, I thought you were one of us. Clearly I was wrong. And Mame is just like, yep.
Gloria leaves, and Patrick leaves as well without
Well,
saying...
he goes running after them.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
like,
Yes, he goes running after them and he tries to apologize.
Pulls Gloria away from them and they leave, and then Patrick is like really upset and looks around and then leaves on his own. So he doesn't leave with the Upsons, but he leaves like around the same time.
And he tries to defend Mame a little bit, just like, oh, she has such a big heart.
She just wants to take care of people.
Yeah, but it's too much damage to the Upsons. And Pegan sees Patrick trying to defend Mame, but then he ultimately leaves as well.
Yeah.
Cut to
like the late 40s. Yeah.
10 years have passed. Patrick and Pegan are married. We
Yep.
are in the foyer of Mame's
They have a
house.
child
They
called
have a child
Peter.
named Peter. Too many P's.
Hate that.
They dropped off their son to like stay with Auntie Mame for the weekend, and they're picking him up. And Mame is also leaving that evening for Siberia. Yeah. She's going on a trip.
Dear God.
And she wants them to let her take Peter with her.
And they're like, no, absolutely not. And she's like, he's so deprived. He hasn't even been to Siberia. It's like, what are you talking about? So eventually they get all the way to the airport.
Yeah, they take her to the airport.
Yeah, and they like finally get there, and then Peter is just like, oh, but the world is a buffet and some people are just starved. So obviously like Mame has told him exactly what to say because that's one of her lines. And eventually
life is a banquet and some poor sons of bitches are starving to death. That's
I know, and they like look at him.
Yeah. Because he's maybe 7.
Yeah, and they're like, okay, so he can go with you, but like he has to be back in time for Labor Day. That's when school started. She's like, yeah, sure, Labor Day. That's like sometime in November, right? And so they let him get on the plane with her, and the final line blows my mind because Patrick is just like, oh, she hasn't changed at all. She's like the Pied Piper. And I'm like, those children notoriously disappeared forever. That's not a good thing. And that's the end.
Peter didn't have a suitcase. He had a suitcase for a weekend trip in New York. Not Siberia. Siberia. That's how the fucking film ends. I can't. What the fuck?
What the fuck? Ugh. I'm overwhelmed.
I'm angry. I'm angry and I have half an hour until I need to leave.
Okay, so let's power through this.
Power through some dramaturgy. Oh, Grace, what did you think of this movie?
There was no plot. There was no it felt very much like Night and Day, and I'm sorry that we had 2 of these in a row where there was just no plot. It was just a person living their life, and like, as interesting life is to the person who's living it, it doesn't always make a good movie.
I will, like, if I have to compare them, I enjoy this more than Night and Day.
This one
at least
more.
There were, like, funny
jokes
side
and
characters
Bea Arthur.
And a little bit better dialogue at times.
Yeah, and it was an actual musical.
Yeah, but I said this to Grace when we first started. There was no character development from the main character.
No,
like, the worst thing that happened
changed.
was that she went through the depression, but like was fine.
Yeah,
I just
lost her husband, but bounced back.
I didn't care. Like, I didn't care enough.
Nah, not at all.
Of seeing this like larger than life person live their life largely. Like, that was
cool.
That was it. And I think maybe the draw to it as a stage production is that it's star casting. Like, if
it's
you go
very much
see,
star casting. I mean, it was Angela Lansbury.
You go to see Angela Lansbury. You go to see
Bea Arthur.
Ethel Barrymore do this. Like,
yeah.
Carol Burnett, or oh god, who am I trying to think of?
Barbra Streisand, like,
yeah,
Bette Midler.
That's the thing. I was trying to think of Bette Midler. Like,
yeah,
I would go see this. That Hello Dolly. That's the thing. I was like, you go see it. Like, is the plot bad and nothing happens? Yes. Do you go to see it because this person is because you get to see
this actor just like do jokes and sing songs? Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Should we do some dramaturgy?
You want to do a little dramaturgy report? Dramaturgy report. All right, this was directed by Gene Saks, who was an American director and actor. He did a lot. As an actor, he had his Broadway debut in South Pacific in 1949.
Oh!
He also played Jack Lemmon's brother in a screen adaptation of The Prisoner of Second Avenue and appeared in Nobody's Fool starring Paul Newman.
Mm-hmm.
He, in terms of play directing, he had a long-term professional relationship with Neil Simon and directed a lot of Simon's plays, including Biloxi Blues, Brighton Beach Memoirs, and the 1985 revival with a female cast of The Odd Couple. Oh. He also directed films, obviously, and some of his film credits include, like, Barefoot in the Park, the film adaptation of The Odd Couple, Last of the Red Hot Lovers, Mame, Brighton Beach Memoirs, like a lot of Neil Simon stuff. Yeah. And the 1995 television production of Bye Bye Birdie. Oh. The cinematographer was Philip Lathrop, who was an American cinematographer, noted for his skills on particularly widescreen technology, as well as a very detailed approach to lighting and camera placement. Yeah. Not a lot of notable films that we would know, but a very prolific career. That's it.
So this is like a really rare instance of how this got to be. So it started as a book, Auntie Mame, an irreverent escapade. And then it was adapted into a stage play.
Was it based on a true story, or it was just...
I'll talk about that. Okay. So it was adapted into a stage play, and then turned into a movie, Auntie Mame, and then that was turned into the Broadway show Mame, and then it was turned into a movie musical. So, like, it went through so many iterations of this story. So the book was written by Edward Everett Tanner III, and he was known by the pseudonym Patrick Dennis. And so his novel, Auntie Mame, An Irreverent Escapade, was one of the best-selling books in the 20th century. It has, like, chronological vignettes, which kind of makes sense as to how this movie is put together. It does feel very much like vignettes. The narrator, also named Patrick Dennis, like, recalls his adventures growing up under Mame. He also wrote a sequel, Around the World with Auntie Mame. Now, he based the character off of his father's sister, Marion Tanner, but he has said, I write in the first person, but it is all fictional. The public assumes that what seems fictional is fact, so the way for me to be inventive is to seem to be factual, but fictional. So he's saying that none of it is... So no is what I'm hearing. So he's saying that none of it is, but, like, he's purposefully making it seem like it's real by using his writer's pseudonym as the same name as the main character.
So he's tricking us.
Yeah. Well, it says, all of Dennis's novels employ to some degree the traditional comic devices of masks, subterfuge, and deception. So yes.
So lying.
So lying.
So
like a
bamboozling.
Liar. One might even say a swindle. So
he was the swindler.
The swindler in this movie is the author.
Swindler is the author. We got it. We have a gangster,
break the fourth wall,
and a swindler. That's so funny.
So the screenplay was written by the adaptation into the screenplay was written by Paul Zindel Jr. He was the one who wrote the effect of gamma rays on Man in the Moon Marigolds, which is his first and most successful play.
God, imagine just, like, that was your first one and it never got better.
Never got better. Now, the stage musical, the book was written by Jerome Lawrence and Robert Edwin Lee, and the music and lyrics were by Jerry Herman. So it was originally titled My Best Girl, but it was inspired by the success of the 1956 play and then the 1958 film. And so then they did the stage musical, and then they did this movie. It was all, like, within the span of, like, 20 years that this happened. So the musical opened on Broadway at the Winter Garden Theater in May 1966. 3 years later, it transferred to the Broadway Theater, and it closed in 1970. It ended up running a total of a little over 1,500 performances. Now, they had Angela Lansbury cast as Mame, and Bea Arthur was Vera, so she reprised her role. And then Jane Connell was Agnes Gooch, who also was Agnes in the movie. Angela Lansbury, Bea Arthur, and Frankie Michaels, who played Patrick, all won Tony Awards. And then the writers, the music, and the set designers all received nominations. So it was quite well received on stage. Now, the music and lyrics, Jerry Herman, he's one of the most commercially successful Broadway songwriters of his time. He wrote a number of hit musicals throughout the 60s that were characterized by an upbeat and optimistic outlook, including Hello, Dolly, which at one time was the longest running musical in Broadway history. Also, obviously, Mame and La Cage aux Folles. In 2009, he received the Tony Award for Lifetime Achievement in Theater, and he was a recipient of the 2010 Kennedy Center Honors. Now, Jerry Herman disliked this film so much and was also unhappy with the Hello Dolly movie from 1969 that he specifically has that no film of his musicals can be made again without his direct involvement and approval.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice.
Shame on you twice. Shame on me.
Shame on me.
Now, originally, Angela Lansbury thought that she was going to be getting this movie. So she recalled that when she was playing Mame on Broadway, she was visited by Lucille Ball, who told her that she was amazing, she deserved all the honors she was receiving, and that she was a shoo-in for the film version. But Lansbury, who was like very touched by this, until she noticed that Lucy, was in the wings during her performance taking notes. And
I think that's
then
really
she
shitty.
realized that she wasn't going to get the part. I think that was real shitty.
True.
Well, this is what Angela Lansbury has said.
Yeah.
So this is her recollection of that event. Now, obviously, we don't know what Lucille
Ball's.
Yeah. Anyway, as I said, Lucille Ball was so dismayed at the harsh reaction of this film that it received that she vowed never to make another film again, and she didn't. So I'm going to talk a little bit about her, Lucille Desiree Ball.
Okay.
So she was an American actress, comedian, producer. She was nominated for 13 Emmy Awards and won 5 times. She was the recipient of a bunch of other awards, such as the Golden Globe Cecil B. DeMille Award. She has 2 stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, one for her contribution to TV, and then one for her contribution to like film and technology. She earned many honors, including Women in Film Crystal Award. She was inducted into the Television Hall of Fame, Lifetime Achievement Award from the Kennedy Center, and the Governor's Award from the Academy of Television Arts and Sciences. So her career began in 1929, where she was working as a model, and shortly after that, she began her performing career on Broadway using the stage name Diane Belmont. She later appeared in films in the 30s and 40s as a contract player for RKO Radio Pictures, and she was cast as a chorus girl or like in similar smaller roles, and then started getting some lead roles in B Pictures and supporting roles in A Pictures. So during this time, she met Desi Arnaz, the Cuban band leader, and they eloped in November 1940. In the 50s, they moved into television, and that's when she and Desi Arnaz created the sitcom I Love Lucy, which is what we all know her from. Mm-hmm. She gave birth to their first child, Lucy, in 1951, and then also had another child, Desi Arnaz Jr. I love that they just named the children after themselves. They're like, so great, do it again. However, Lucy and Desi Arnaz did divorce in March 1960, and she ended up remarrying the comedian Gary Morton in 1961. She produced and starred in the Broadway musical Wildcat from 1960 to 61, and in 62 she became the first woman to run a major television studio, Desilu Productions, which produced many popular series like Mission Impossible and Star Trek. Yeah. Now, she stopped doing movies after Mame, but she didn't retire from acting completely, and in 1985 she took a dramatic role in the television film Stone Pillow, and the next year she starred in Life with Lucy, which, unlike her other sitcoms, really didn't do well, and it was canceled after like 3 months. She didn't appear in film or television roles for the rest of her career, and she ended up passing in April 1989 from an abdominal aortic aneurysm, which is basically heart disease, at the age of 77. So that was her. She has so many honors. And in fact, my homework is to watch a couple episodes of I Love Lucy, because she is at her best in that show. Her physical comedy is so good. And it's just a delight. I Love Lucy is, just a fun, easy watch.
Yeah, the biggest thing is I can tell she's got comedy chops.
Yeah.
In this film. The film did not serve her.
No, not at all.
Yeah, I'll do some reviews and reception, and oh boy, do we have stuff for reviews and reception. So Radio City Music Hall selected this film to be its Easter weekend opening attraction, and it was a big box office bomb. It was really bad, and many reviews, especially those for Lucille Ball, were particularly brutal. Like, I don't have a lot of data in terms of, like, how much money it made, because it didn't make any money.
They didn't make their money back. I think they had a $12,000 budget, or $12 million budget, and they got back, like, 6.5.
Yeah, it was just decimated at the box office and in the reviews.
Yeah.
A lot of what we've said, honestly. Mm-hmm. So that's it for reviews and reception. I'm not going much further into that. Do you want to talk about singing and dancing?
I mean, the big group numbers were fun, but none of the dancing was really, like, remarkable. In terms of the singing, Lucy isn't a singer.
No, she's not.
And she very much is a part of the Rex Harrison School of Singing.
Yes, I thought of that while I was watching this. I was like, you are speaking your way through all of this. She's on
all
pitch,
of this. Yeah.
But she can't sustain a note.
Well, and that's the thing. So Jerry Herman worked with her to improve her singing, but she couldn't sustain, like, without, like, and like even one sentence without becoming winded. So, like, open a new window, just that one phrase had to be pieced together from multiple takes. So
do we know why she had such poor breath support?
I think that, well, she smoked every day of her life. And at one point, actually, they were talking about how they wanted to dub her and she refused. And she was just like, okay, but Mame has been drinking and smoking every day of her life. What do you expect her to sound like, Julie Andrews? So they tried to use whatever,
that's like
I know, it's a musical. It's a musical.
And, like, you can have a gravelier, just, like, deeper voice, but still be able to sustain a note.
Now, they originally planned on releasing the film with 5.1 stereo soundtrack, but they weren't able to do so because her voice songs were comprised of so many different takes all spliced together that if you remastered them, it would reveal how horribly and, like, the hodgepodge that the original.
So they were like, don't look too close.
yeah, man behind the curtain. So that was the main issue with that, was that she really couldn't sustain a note. And so, sort of like Marlon Brando in Luck Be a Lady, they had to, like, grab a bunch of different, like,
grab what you
parts
can
and, like, boom, put them together.
And don't look too close.
Yeah, exactly. Shaky sweaters.
Bea Arthur was fabulous for the one song that she sang, and Robert Preston was robbed and should have gotten to do more.
I know.
I can't believe they killed him off. He really got out of this whole production unscathed. He went on to have, like,
no
a
one
great
really
career.
talked about him, and he was just like, I just got killed in an avalanche. Don't look too closely. Anna, what's your gripe?
I didn't care. I literally wrote, she never changed. She was rich, then she was kind of poor, then she was immediately rich again. She just charmed her way through life, and I found it boring after the first 20 minutes.
There was no plot. There was no plot. There was no antagonist. There was no long-term struggle that you had to overcome. There's no plot. Moments of Joy is all Vera. Bea Arthur. Her entrance, her exit, stunning.
Oh, you mean your giggles?
That was my moment of joy. My giggle was her bursting through the department store on skates. That entire sequence was a big old giggle. Yeah,
my giggles was just the comedic timing of Lucille Ball and Bea Arthur. My moment of joy, it's when, I don't know why it really got me, but it's when at the end of Mame, Patrick runs up to Mame. Like, when she gets down on her knees to have him run to her. I was just like, that's very sweet. Yeah. I see you. Okay. It was very genuine.
Yeah. Do you have any fun facts?
I do. I think you've touched on a bit of mine. I only have one, but it's that Bea Arthur and Jane Connell reprised their stage roles for this film, and that was Vera Charles and Agnes Googe. Yeah. I also found it... Did you say this? That one of the reasons Lucille Ball wanted to make the movie is because she was disturbed by the 1970s film trends. Oh, yeah. And wanted to return to something more wholesome. Did you say that?
No, I haven't.
So she was disturbed by the trends of the 70s, which included, like, The French Connection, The Last Tango in Paris, and The Exorcist, things that were darker, grittier, and racier, and she wanted something more wholesome. And this is certainly wholesome. Like, I don't consider Mame a wholesome character. No. But in terms of how, like, she pushes the envelope, but it's a tame envelope.
Yes, it is a tame envelope. It's a Connecticut envelope.
It's monogrammed.
Yeah, exactly. I don't really have any other fun facts. I kind of said all of mine. My homework is to watch a few episodes of I Love Lucy.
That's good. My homework was don't watch this movie.
That's pretty much it. No, my homework, it says, don't watch this, watch I Love Lucy.
Watch I Love Lucy. Yeah.
All right. I think, Anna, that is all she wrote.
I think that is all she wrote. Wow, this was a doozy.
Yeah, right?
Well, if you are still here, thank you
Congrats.
so much for tuning in to this episode of 5678, a movie musical podcast. I have been Anna.
I'm still Grace.
Take care of yourselves and others. We'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
5, 6, 7, 8.
There's no business like show business, like no business I know.